John Young with Disc Jockey News, Disc Jockey News TV. It's Wednesday night. It's Lighting Chat night. This special edition is being brought to you from the LDI show at the ADJ booth, and I've got Edgar here. Edgar's going to walk us around. You got a lot of cool stuff here at the show this year.
We sure do. We're showing over 30 new products, and we're very excited to show all this stuff, and had a privilege of programming it, so I know firsthand, you know, what all these lights are capable of, and very, very excited to show all these new products.
Yeah, we just saw, and you can catch one of our other videos. We'll put the link in the description below. But we just saw the full light show, and that was pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Practice is helping. My shows are getting a little bit better, and but having great product to program definitely helps.
Yeah, that is very impressive. You know, people probably want to hear us talk about the show, but they really just want to see the fun stuff. So let's just jump right into it.
Sounds good.
So this is the light show at LDI 2014. Edgar, how long did it take you to program this wall of lights?
Well, I did some pre-programming back in the office, which was just my truss warmers. That took me a couple hours. Honestly, I started at 8 in the morning, and I ended the program at 12:30, just past midnight.
It was a long day yesterday. You were behind that machine the whole time. That was incredible, man.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, it's a lot of fun, especially when you have these products. It just, you know, when you see certain colors, you see certain gobos, you see certain features, you just keep getting excited, and I just never get tired, and I sometimes don't even get hungry.
I don't even know if I saw you eat yesterday. You were there. It's so intense, man. Well, let's start. Actually, let's go right down on the bottom here. Let's start from the bottom of the show, and let's talk about everything we've got here.
All right, so we wanted to show our dots matrix. You know, the dots matrix has been out for a long time. If you're not familiar with them, they're 4x4 panels that have chip on board LEDs. Each one of those cells are rated at 30 watts a piece, and they have DMX in and out. They have awesome shows built into them already. But what we did is I actually used the Easy Cling box. As you see there, it's actually running our video also through these dots matrix. So when you look at the entire grid, especially when you're going to see the light show, you're going to see how everything was all mapped out together. So that's the dots matrix. We have 4 of them there, and once again, 30 watts a piece, RGB. Just an incredible product. Great with DMX, great standalone, and now as you see, also great with ClingNet technology.
Yeah, that's very cool. We can watch it coming right, the images coming down the wall and appearing at the bottom. Very neat stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just, and since it's so powerful too, the way you're seeing it now, I know it looks really nice in the camera, but I'm running that at 20% right now. If I ran that at 100, it'd be too blinding.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah,
wow, that is very, very bright.
So for this, you know, for this particular, I guess, style that I'm using it for video, so that's why I brought the intensity down, but these are great fixtures if you want to use them as blinders. Definitely I recommend to run them at 100%, so that way you can really blind the audience and get that real wow factor that you're looking for.
Yeah. Very neat. Let's keep working our way up. Now, we've talked about quite a few of these lights, but you've implemented them in the show in a way that some things I haven't seen you do that before.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with you know, the practice time I'm getting, and especially getting to see, you know, what these lights are capable of. This is the 362R. This is pretty much a dual moving head that has 2 of the Philip Platinum 2R lamp. Very powerful, as you see there. The colors look incredibly great on it. Right now I'm using it because I know you see this, you probably think it eats up a lot of DMX channels, but I'm using it in a basic mode, and the basic mode uses up 21 DMX channels. But with that, I have pan control as well as tilt over each one of those heads. I have individual dimmer, shutter, color, prism on each one of those heads, and as well as I have access to some macros where, like you see there, I can infinitely pan this in either direction, as well as those heads I can infinitely tilt them in any direction. And what I really like about this, John, is that it's like having 2 of our VisiBeam hybrids, which you see there in the back, but you can never really get those moving heads that close together. And when you have this kind of effect, this is 2 very, very sharp beams that are almost touching each other. And let me tell you, when you open up that prism, it looks really cool. Spin them in opposite directions, you'll get a very, very nice warp effect, especially with the color wheel. Change that so it's going super fast, and it just looks really awesome.
And not to, you know, with all that cool features, not to belittle those at all, but I think the most kind of breathtaking component of the light show was when you had those set to white and you had them set up just like we saw a few minutes ago, where you had them straight up in the air and from a distance like that. Exactly. That was really quite cool in the light show.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of imagine, you know, the instructor of a band when the show was starting. I had them straight up just like that, as if they had the hands in the air. And right when the song was going to kick in, I dropped them down, like if you're dropping your arms down, like the show is about to begin. And so just to be able to do that with this. But in this effect here, you know, it's an awesome kind of like searchlight effect.
Yeah.
And with the power of that 2R lamp, I mean, we've done trade shows at these large convention halls, and this thing, you know, if I mount it high enough, I could shoot straight across any convention center that we've been in. It's just that powerful. The optics are great on it.
Yes.
And the gobos, I didn't even mention, the gobos look really nice on this too. For being a beam fixture, you got stars and kind of diamond gobos in there, and they just look really incredible, especially at large distances.
Yeah, an incredible light. Good stuff. Well, let's keep going now. What do we have? Oh, actually, this is one of our new ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so this is the brand new Fog Fury Jet. We're showing it for the very, very first time at a trade show, and let me tell you, this is our first day of the show, and it's been working great. I haven't had to refill the tank on this, so I know that the tank lasts a long time. The warm-up time on this is only 9 minutes, so as soon as I get to a show, I know that in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to be able to start cranking this fog. Now, with this, it looks like your traditional fogger, but this actually shoots straight up, and it's so powerful, it'll shoot about 25 feet. And as you're seeing there, it does have RGBA LEDs. It has 12 3-watt LEDs, so I can actually have light showing as I'm shooting fog. And with the Fog Fury Jet, I'm using it in a DMX mode, but it is also going to come with a wireless remote. And in DMX, it just takes 7 DMX channels, first channel being my fog, next 4 being my red, green, blue, and amber, and then followed by the shutter and the dimmer. So a lot of DMX control you could do with this, not just hitting fog, but getting a little bit more creative. And I just imagine for productions, you can do some really cool things with this, especially weddings. It could be a new kind of grand entrance kind of effect that you can do if you're doing any kind of MMA events. You know, this is something that you're going to want to have. So it's really an all-purpose kind of fogger that you can use for any kind of event, as long as you want to get creative and have some fun. And one thing I want to mention about this too, John, is you can mount this any way you like. You could do sideways, and that tank, you'll notice on the front there, it's held together by 2 Phillips screws, and the reason for that is because you can mount this upside down and it can lock in, but there's actually a hole on the bottom of the unit. So if I wanted to mount this upside down and I wanted that tank at the bottom, so it's upside right, but this is, you know, shooting down, I could do that. So I'll show you real quick. I'll tilt this. And that panel there can be removed, and you have instant access to go ahead and put that tank there, and that way you can mount this upside down with no problems at all. So just nice. An awesome piece. The price, you're going to go insane when you find out the price on this. And this we're looking to release really soon. It's in its final production stages, so I'm very excited for the Fog Fury Jet release date.
Wow, very nice. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Let's work our way to the back. Now, we talked a little bit about this particular fixture. Yeah,
so this is a VisiBeam Hybrid 2R. And the reason it's a hybrid is because this is a beam fixture. So you have that real nice tight beam using that Philips 2R lamp, so incredibly strong. Once again, that 2R lamp can shoot across large distances, no problem. The gobos look really nice. One thing about beam fixtures you'll notice, if you shoot a beam fixture and you're showing a gobo maybe 10, 20 feet, gobo might not look that sharp, might not look that clean, but you know, it is a beam fixture. The purpose for that is try shooting that gobo about 100 feet or maybe even 200 feet away, and that's when you're going to see this real nice gobo with the beam fixture. So the VisiBeam Hybrid 2R does have gobos that actually reduce the beam size on this. So when you saw it, the beam size is about 6 degrees. It goes down all the way almost to about a 1 degree beam angle. And that's really cool because this also does have a 6-facet prism like you're seeing there. That's the prism effect. This is at the regular gobo size, but if I narrowed that gobo all the way down to that 1 degree beam angle, it looks really, really cool. And you'll see that in the light show in the beginning. I actually used that feature. But DMX, very, very easy to use. The menu on that is actually kind of a pro menu, different from our other moving head fixtures. So that's definitely a pro piece, a pro feature on this. But just a great fixture. If you're looking for something that's very powerful, compact, that you want to really amaze your crowd with, that's definitely the light to go with.
Very nice, very nice. Now we're moving over and we've got another, but this isn't a fogger this time.
Yes, that's the Fog Fury Phase. So it's part of the Fog Fury series, but this is the phaser. And with the phase, it's really awesome. You see, it's very compact, and we're just using 2 of them for our massive booth here. And it was enough to send out fog. Right there, you see, I'm already out of fog, so I got to fill that up right after this video. But that's one thing. This is actually perfect because I want to show that. This will actually let you know when you're out of fog. A lot of times, you know, when foggers were first coming out, heaters, pumps, you had a lot of things going wrong with these. And if my machine was not working, I would, you know, check the fluid. Maybe that wasn't it. But seeing here, it does have LED indicators that let you know that you're out of fluid. It's going to blink red like that. Now when you fill that back up with fluid, it's going to stay on a solid green, letting you know that you're ready to shoot more fog.
Very
so
nice.
yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, once again, very easy to use. With that timered remote, you can set it to continuous. You can also push manual if you wanted to manually hit the phase. And it also does have a timer on there. So very great piece to use. Kind of set it and forget it if you wanted to. Very compact. And as you see there, the tank's right on the top there, so very easy to fill it back up with fluid, which I'll have to do in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's very cool that it protects itself, and
yeah,
you're not going to have a ruined unit.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I forgot to mention. It does have a thermal sensor, so when it is out of fluid, it is going to automatically cool down, so it saves the machine, saves the heater, saves it from any kind of potential of overheating. So yeah, it's a great feature.
Good stuff, good stuff. Let's step over, so I'm right in the middle of one of those beams. Let's take a look now, let's see. We are up here, the Illusion, I believe.
Yes, so this is the Illusion Dots 4x4. As you see there, it looks just like the Dots Matrix that we saw just a little while ago, but this is on a moving yoke. So now you can move this around, you can pan and tilt this, have a lot of fun with this. Those heads actually spin around very, very fast. And what's nice about this, you have two different modes that you can do. You can do DMX mode, where in a 14-channel mode, you can set it all to a solid blue, red, or green if you wanted to. Or you can use this in the highest mode, which is 59 DMX channels, and that's where you have individual control over each one of those pixels, as well as macros, and of course pan and tilt. But the way we're using it here, John, is we're actually running ClingNet through this. So that's why you saw it. When you see the entire grid, you'll see that it's going to almost look like a giant TV screen. And that's because the visual content is running through all of our lights that we have connected with ClingNet. And that together will make kind of one large LED screen.
Very cool. And then speaking of the screen, now we kind of go into this. Now this is a little bit different than a lot of our DJ applications that we've talked about, but tell us more about this.
Yeah, this is a flash cling panel, and the flash cling panel has ClingNet already built into it, just like our Illusion Dots. They're RGB LEDs, and as you see there, it's also running that video content. These panels, they're very lightweight, very economical, and the best part about them is they're super easy to mount. As you see there above it, it has the FKP. That's the mounting bracket that you use. You could mount that onto pipe like you see there, or onto truss. On the back, you won't be able to see here, but you could probably check it out on our website. They're just these little panel locks that you actually use to lock them together. And it's really easy. It's almost like a push adapter, and you just push them together and they lock together very easily. So definitely a step up from the old panels that we used to have. But this is a 4x4 grid, so what you're seeing there is actually two panels. And with that, just like the name, you have 64 channels of red, green, and blue that you can control. And these are just ClingNet, so they don't have any DMX, but what you can do is you can run all your visual content. We're gonna have a software LED master, which I'll show you in a bit, where you can get all your nice videos and run content through these.
Very cool, very cool. Now while we were talking about the panels, this little light turned on, and that was kind of a cool effect. Now tell me more about that.
Yeah, so that's our Visi Roller Beam 2R, once again using that 2R lamp. Now with the Visi Roller Beam, it's using a barrel style mirror, but it's almost a barrel cone kind of mirror. And so yeah, just like you see there, it gives it a very unique effect, and the tunnel effect on this is incredible, as you're seeing there. Right now it's just doing a chase, so it's blinking on and off. But just an awesome fixture, very powerful, and I mean, having a 20x20 or whatever booth size we have does it no justice. I've seen this in large clubs where that barrel effect does not disappear. It's using that 2R lamp once again, so you have that circle that just gets larger no matter what size room you're doing, and just makes an incredible effect. It does have color wheels, gobos also, and a prism, and that barrel will just rotate extremely fast. It's incredible.
Very nice, very nice. As long as we're gonna move up a little bit, we've got a light that's shining for us now, so we can see it. What do we got there?
All right, so that's the InnoBeam LED. It's our beam fixture that's using an LED source. It's a 80-watt LED source, and with this, it's very similar to the VisiBeam Hybrid 2R. That it has beam reduction also. It's part of the gobo wheel, so as you're going through the gobos, you're going to be seeing that you're going to be narrowing down that beam, which is great for the prism. This does have a 6-facet prism, so as soon as you do the prism effect with the tighter beam, it looks incredible. You can use it with the larger beam too. Looks good, but you got separate color wheel and gobo wheel on this. Only uses up about 15 or 14 DMX channels, and what I really like about it, it's a beam fixture that's punchy, once again with the 80-watt LED source, but it doesn't get hot and it's not heavy. So for mobile DJs, this is a great fixture. If you don't want to worry about lamps, as you see there, the beam is extremely powerful, and the gobos look really nice. Just a great fixture for, you know, clubs, mobile DJs, even production.
Yeah, very nice, very bright colors.
Yes.
Moving up, we've got one that, now this was a new one I think from last year.
Yeah, last year we showed this for the first time, and I'm a little bit embarrassed when I watched video on what I did with it because I didn't know how to program it. But this is the Crazy 8, and with the Crazy 8 you have those 8-watt LEDs. They're cool white, and now you see that you can do some really nice chases with them. It pans around, and each one of those bars with the 4 LEDs can tilt, so you can tilt those in any direction. For programming, it's very fun. Right there I'm using it in a 21 DMX channel mode, and that's just a pan and tilt on for the whole head, and tilt on each one of those bars, as well as fine tilt. So if you're using this and you're kind of doing kind of a spotlight kind of thing, the fine tilt will help, as well as each one of those LEDs, those 8 LEDs, you have control and a master dimmer, shutter, as well as macros that are already built into this. So the Crazy 8 is just like its name. It's an awesome fixture, very powerful LED, and so that, you know, with a little bit of fog or haze, you're going to get that real nice beam effect that, you know, in any club or any kind of application, definitely will get the kind of attention that you're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of my personal favorites from last year because it's just such a cool looking light.
Nice, yeah, yeah. And I'm really anticipating, I hope that we have a RGBW version of this really soon.
Oh, little sneak peek right there.
Yeah. All right, so here we have the Vortex 1200. This is a new light that we're showing this year. I don't think we had this in time for LDI last year, but the Vortex is a great effect. It's on a moving head, very fast, but as you're seeing there, the reason it has its name, the Vortex, is that mirror will actually rotate infinitely and very fast, and what it does, it creates a very, very cool vortex effect, where the beams go through those lenses and they kind of crisscross in and out. So you start with almost a 10-degree beam, and then it opens up to about a 60-degree once it's rotating around. It does have red, green, blue, and white LEDs, and with this you have four zone controls on it, so I can have red, green, blue, and white, kind of like a Simon. Imagine the old game that we used to have. Yep. But it does that, and once it's rotating around with that vortex mirror, it makes a very, very great effect. For DMX, uses up about 29 DMX channels at the highest mode, and that way you can have that zone control as well as pan and tilt, and of course control over that mirror, so you can have it rotate very fast, slow, or you can even stop it still, so you can have either the open beam or the closed beam.
Now we've covered the wall. Now it's time to look at that awesome circle up at the top of the booth. What do we have here?
This is the InnoColorBeam Z19. This has 19 10-watt LEDs, RGBW, and the Z in the name is for zoom. The lens actually zooms in and out. You can start with a 10-degree beam and open it up all the way to a 60-degree wash. And with that, with the power of those 10-watt LEDs, you have incredible coverage as far as having just a regular beam fixture. But once you zoom out, it makes a very nice wash. If you're trying to fill a dance floor with color, that's no problem for the Z19. Very, very fast and great for DMX. Even in standalone modes, it has a lot of nice shows built in. So that's the Z19. I'm actually using it a lot to, I open the zoom on it to 60 degrees and I'm washing the banner that we have. And every once in a while I'll use the 10-degree zoom, and I'll use those beams to go around the floor here in the trade show booth. Alright, so right next to the Z19 we do have our brand new Super Spot LED. This is the first time we're showing it. The Super Spot uses 2 DMX channels. You have your dimmer and your shutter. So it does have DMX control, very powerful beam. It's a 10-watt LED source, and a 6-degree beam angle, and you can do some really nice chase patterns with that DMX control. And as well as you can use this standalone too, where if you wanted to just use it as a beam fixture or strobe, you can do that. But just an awesome piece, very, very economical and very easy to use if you're mounting this onto truss or onto a light stand. Very lightweight. So yeah, once again, that's the Super Spot LED.
Now, some guys were using this when they were setting up. I saw that they were shining it from this end of the building to the other end of the building with the building fully lit, and you could see that up on the wall, the beam on the wall.
Yeah, that has to do with the optics. They did an incredible job with that. We tested that in our warehouse also, where it had to be at least 100 feet away, and we were just seeing that beam. So I definitely knew that I had to use those at the highest point of my truss, which is the circle, and using 20 of them, and just had a lot of fun programming those. All right, next on the circle truss, we do have our InnoSpot Elite, which is our flagship in a moving head. It's our most powerful moving head that we have in an LED. It's 180 watts. It's using the chip on board LED technology. Does have separate color and gobo wheels, and what's really nice about this too is it does have a iris in it. So if I was using this as a follow spot, I can actually close that circle down just like a regular follow spot. You do have autofocus on here, as well as a 6-facet prism. It's got some really nice glass gobos and some newer gobos that we haven't used before in our ADJ moving heads. So with that 6-facet prism, makes it great for programming, so you can have a lot of fun. And the colors on here are very nice. And I have to tell you that the gobo rotation on this is insanely fast. I really, really enjoy using this to show those gobos and circle them around. And as far as movement, very fast for a big moving head, and very lightweight still too. So 180 watts, but doesn't get too hot. And but yeah, once again, that's the InnoSpot Elite.
And as we're looking on the floor, that's the light that's doing a lot of the patterns on the floor. Is that correct?
Yeah, so once again, you know, there's the gobos that you're seeing there, and what's nice about it too, you do have color split on here, which I'm showing, and there's one of the glass gobos that it has. So I'm just doing a real nice kind of slow rotation. That's one thing about it too, you'll notice with a lot of moving heads, it's nice that they rotate fast, but to me, I think it's better when they rotate really slow, because especially when you're doing customized gobos, these do take custom gobos. So if you put a gobo in there, you want to just rotate it very nice and slow, you could do that with the InnoSpot Elite.
Now we jump to the other side of the ADJ booth. What do we have? This is a new light. I have not seen this one before.
Yeah, so this is the brand new Zipper from ADJ, and with this you have red, green, blue LEDs. They're 8 watts, but you'll notice that barrel mirror on there, it actually swivels. So you'll see there in the video, you can see how those mirrors are kind of rotating around, but they're kind of tilting at the same time. With that barrel, of course, you get those beams that are just circling around the room incredibly fast, but with that kind of swivel effect, I imagine that you're going to get a lot nicer of a bounce to make the room even more exciting, and as well as doing chases just like the way you're seeing, real slow, or you can have it going really fast too, depending on how the party's going. The Zipper is a great effect light to add to your arsenal.
This looks very similar to what we saw on the other side with the Event Bar Pro, but this is, I'm seeing color.
Yeah, so this is the Event Bar Q4, and with the Q4 you have quad LEDs. They're rated at 8 watts a piece. It's red, green, blue, and white. And what's nice about this, once again, you can mount it any way you like, and you have individual control over each one of those pin spots, moving pin spots, which makes the Event Bar Q4 really unique, because you could set those to whatever color you want, angle them however you want, or you could just run some really nice chase patterns through like the way it's doing here. And especially in large groups of these, once you have those color chases going through, add a little bit of smoke or haze, and it just makes a very, very nice beam effect. And you know, still compact, so great for the mobile DJs as well as nightclubs.
Edgar, this looks like something that's brand new to the whole collection. I don't think I've seen this before.
Yeah, this is the Inno Pocket Spot Twins. Now if you like the Inno Pocket Spot, this is the Twins version here, where they're both on one bar, and you'll see the hole there in the center, so you can actually put this through one of our light stands, which makes it great. You can still put the speaker on top of that, but even if you wanted to stack these where you have these all on one stand, you could do that. Very compact. Uses about 21 DMX channels, so that's great because that gives you control over each one of those heads independently. They're rated at 12 watts a piece, and it has 7 colors and 7 gobos, which can all be controlled independently. So the Inno Pocket Spot Twins is a great effect if you're trying to have something that can fill a dance floor without having to have too many light stands or having to rely on truss. The Inno Pocket Spot Twins is a great piece to have.
And we have another world debut right here. What do we have?
All right, this is the Illusion Dots 3x3, very similar to the Illusion Dots 4x4 that I'm using in the large booth, or part of the booth. But the 3x3, as you see there, has still 30-watt LEDs, very punchy. And what's nice about this, you can run DMX through this, but it also does support the ClingNet capability too. So if I wanted to connect ClingNet and run visuals through this, I could do that. So it just gives you another option for your pixel control, whether it's the 4x4 or like you're seeing here, the Illusion Dots 3x3, maybe if you're looking for something a little bit more compact.
And am I right? Is that the Cobb technology we're seeing there?
Yeah, these are the chip-on-board LEDs, Cobb, and so you have a cluster of LEDs that make for very, very powerful punch, and the colors, I mean, for color mixing, looks incredible, and as you're seeing there, kind of a rainbow effect, looks really amazing.
Now we've got the big light show in the description below. You can check that link out. But for DJs now, that was pretty intense. Do you have something that's more of a DJ friendly? What do you got?
Yeah, so here we have the software which is developed by the same manufacturer, Archaeos. This is LED Master, which for a DJ like me, I love, because you'll notice here, this is actually the performance screen that you see here, where you have all of your videos already preloaded, and you can actually set sequences to where the songs will go almost like a timeline. If you wanted a certain video for 30 seconds or another for 30 seconds after that, you can set all of this. And what's nice about this too, it does have keyboard triggering. So if I wanted to trigger, let's say my blue look, I could set it to trigger B on my keyboard. So you have 3 different modes. That's the performance mode. Then you have your program mode, where you're going to be loading in your videos and all of your content. And in the first mode you have there, which is the most important, your mapper. And your mapper is where you're going to actually pick up all of your fixtures that you're using, whether they're panels, like the way we're using here, or like you saw in the major booth that we have. The mapper mode is where you can set all of your lights and exactly to the grid that you have, so that you can have all your videos work just the way you want them to as far as your pixels. And what's great about that too, let's say you have a panel and you already mounted it, it's 20 feet high and it's upside down. In your LED mapper, what you can do is you can actually flip that around or position those however you like, so all of your pixels are going to go exactly the way you want them, so your video content is going to look exactly how you want it.
Very nice. And is this something that's available now?
Yeah, LED Master is available now. It should be shipping within the next week, and yeah, I'm very excited about this because the cost on this is very, very nice, and for what it does as far as video layering and sequencing, just an awesome software for the DJ that wants to get into video now without having to worry about video servers or heavy-duty equipment that they would need for LED screens or something like that.
So there's a lot of cool stuff that we got the chance to look at, and a lot of it's going to be available here in the next, geez, another month or so, and everyone's going to be able to get a hold of everything here. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, very excited, and these products are coming soon, so look out for them.
Yeah, incredible stuff. If people want to find out more information, where can they go?
Oh, definitely go to adj.com. We're always doing our product videos, and we try to have everything up there as soon as possible and as soon as it's releasing, so definitely check it out.
A lot of neat teaser videos, and you go to the website, and especially the YouTube page has a lot of good stuff.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, good stuff. Speaking of YouTube, if you want to go and check out some more things, you can go to the Disc Jockey News YouTube, youtube.com/DiscJockeyNews. You can find out all of our new videos, because we do shows like this and put those videos up for you to check out. But thanks for watching. It's Wednesday night lighting chat. Have a good evening. Good night.